The startup world can be daunting. Where do you start? Are you comfortable taking the path less traveled? The answer depends on what kind of role you want, what you want your responsibilities to be, what kind of impact you want to have. Tech companies range from teams of 5 people to teams of tens of thousands. Knowing which type of company is likely to suit your strengths will help you find fulfilling work. Over the past few years, I've worked in marketing and operations roles at a small startup, a 250-person startup, and a VC firm. Each of these organizations had a different culture and working style. The small startup gave me more responsibility, and my work had more impact. The projects I was doing contributed directly to the strategy and success of these companies. More responsibility also meant learning to fail fast and learning to recover from failure. I was entrusted to work on projects that I had no experience with, which forced me to be resourceful and skill up quickly. I liked this way of learning, especially early in my career. The 250-person startup was much different. I worked with a team focused on one specific initiative. I learned from the best-in-class techniques and worked with experienced and talented people. However, my level of ownership was much lower, and I typically got assigned to smaller, easier projects. At the VC firm, I was able to learn about a breadth of industries at a higher level. We'd hear pitches from students building everything, from robotic kitchens to consumer apps. We did research on the business and then decided whether we wanted to fund the company. This helped me map out more of the tech industry and discover problems that I was excited about solving. Working at various companies in the tech industry is the best way to learn what type of work environment and role you enjoy most. But if you're a student without prior work experience, how do you get started? My approach early on in my career can be summed up in 2 words: brute force. For me, internships weren't limited to the summer, and they weren't limited to places I could get an introduction to. I cold emailed anyone and everyone, even when they weren't hiring, and especially if they didn't hire college kids. I read as much as I could from tech newsletters and blogs. I researched the companies I was excited about and messaged their employees for mentorship. When I reached out to tech professionals, I'd congratulate them on recent news about their company or point out something that we had in common and ask them if they had time to give advice to a college student. This method of cold outreach resulted in 6 different internships throughout my college time that gave me a better idea of what type of job I wanted. So start doing your research and reaching out to folks you think might be willing to tell you about their job. The more you put yourself out there, the more opportunities you create for yourself.